Hi Gemini, welcome to your March 2024 reading. My name's Esme, this is the Queer Witch Tarot Space. I hope you're having a good month so far. I hope this reading is of service to you. You are very welcome here, and we're going to have a little look at how we can help you this month. What's coming up for you? What's going on? What are you working with this month? How are you feeling? So for Gemini, please, what is it that they need to see? The Chariot. So you're having some movement, some shifts, some changes coming through. They seem like they're coming through quite quickly. Yeah, some of you are making changes in your life. Some of you are just in the stage of thinking about what is it that I need to change for myself this month. And this is really good, Gemini. This is really, really good. This is very interesting. This is very much thinking about what it is that you want for your, not just for your future, but for your immediate reality. You know that you need a change. So yeah, this is what some of you are doing right now, is like you're sat like waiting for an answer to come, and that's really wonderful. There's also a slight voice of, you know, make the leap a little bit. Like you know that you might not consciously know, but you know that you're going to be safe. Spirit's always going to be watching out for you. Spirit's always going to be working for you to be able to come into your highest self. Sometimes that comes through the experience of trauma and traumatic experiences, and that's difficult. That is really difficult, but with some space and some time, you might be able to see that there's lessons enfolded and woven into those traumatic times. And I'm sorry for whoever has experienced these things, because that is obviously really difficult. The first card that came out is the Chariot, and it came out in reverse. So for some of you, you're not acting quick enough, you're not moving quick enough. Like there's something which is calling to you quite strongly or quite directly. Like verbally, people might be saying it to you, or you might be hearing it in your head, but some of you are really like almost refusing to hear it for some reason. If you look at this card again, the person sat under the tree is kind of like, not obnoxiously, but like stubbornly looking at what they already have in their life, and there's an unwillingness and a rigidity, like you don't want to change it, but realistically you know that you're not that happy, or that things aren't going in the way which feels the best for you right now. But yet there's this thing, there's this like idea, or there's this like action, or there's this instruction to do something. It's like coming out of thin air. It's actually your internal voice, it's your soul speaking to you, and you're not listening. So some of you need to very clearly do that. Some of you have got a move to make, a shift to call into existence. Some of you need to move house. Some of you need to quit your job. Some of you need to break up. It's a big reality change. Like the Chariot card, I don't see coming out very often. This might be the first Chariot card of this Queer Witch Tarot series, I don't know. I personally don't get it very often. So yeah, it's a big, let's absolutely change this right now. Some of you are thinking about going into the route of escapism with potentially like substance abuse or even workaholicism, or going back to like an old partner or something. There's someone that's like in this thing thinking about going back and escaping. You need to keep moving forward, Gemini. You need to keep moving forward. Taurus had a little bit of this energy as well, a little bit. Yeah, overall this is great. This is a really good position to be in, because you're being, although there's an unwillingness, there's also the fact that you're experiencing this unwilling energy means that it is working. It means that spirit is coming through and that you are receiving messages and you are being subtly pushed into the right position for whatever needs to happen next in your incredible, wonderful life. So you had the Knight of Swords as well, which again is saying about this like quite rapid change. It's quite a quick thing. It's like all you need to do is say yes and it's done, basically. Somebody's being very generous to you in this situation as well. And maybe some of you might think that that is a difficult thing because you think there's a power imbalance in this situation. I don't think it's that. I think this is generosity. And sometimes we can be too proud. You can be too proud to accept that. So this is actually a time of accepting that help as well. Why would Gemini have issues with accepting? Or is there anything which Gemini does need to take into consideration with accepting this thing? The Magician. I didn't think it did want to come through earlier, and it did, and I put it away because I was like, I don't think that is in its energy, or I don't think that is okay, 2 seconds, sorry. So within this generosity story, you had the cards of the Magician and the Lovers come through. So these are major arcana cards, quite powerful cards. The Magician literally speaks to how we create all of our life experience. Speaks to being in action, speaks to creating what is happening now, speaks to having all of the tools that you need to create a sustainable and enjoyable life for yourself. So it asks you to do that. It's in reverse, which might suggest that someone or something is blocking it. A relationship is potentially blocking you reaching your highest potential right now. Doesn't necessarily need to be a person or a lover or a friend. It might be a job or something. But it feels like there is some kind of difficult or controlling relationship which needs to be shifted in order for you to feel in your own power and to feel safe to make these decisions. So in regards to this like generosity thing, I don't know if that's part of it. I don't know if the generosity is coming from this person that actually you need to let go of. So if that's the case, there is actually like a middle ground with this, which is quite interesting. So seeing it like this. So the thing which can be in the middle of like receiving the generosity from this person that might not be so great, or this situation which might not be so great, is having very clear boundaries about, yes, I will receive this, but no, I will no longer receive this. That might be something of use to you, Gemini. I don't know. You also had some cards come out. I'm not... So you got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups, pretty much at either end. So the Queen of Wands is your like innermost, like femme spiritual experience. So it's like everything that you touch and you feel and you taste. And it's a very heightened energy. It's very much like a serene, delicious experience. This energy is, there's almost like you don't quite know what it is that you want, or you don't quite know what it is that you like. So then there's some like looking out at like new things, you know. This is like the person doesn't actually know what they're looking at yet, you know, they're just looking out, still holding on to something for support, but there's also things behind them, and then looking out at new things to try and work out what it is that you like. You know, the 10 of Cups is in reverse, so it's telling you to try and find it from within, like test ideas in your body. If you do this practice where you're going to meditation, going to clearness, and then suggest to yourself something and watch where your body experiences that suggestion. You can kind of go through a few different things like that and see if you witness joy, or if you witness pain, or if you witness embarrassment. That can sometimes help us work out what it is that we want. But yeah, and again, that's mirrored by this card as well here, somebody that's looking at all the different things that they might want. So this month, Gemini, you're looking at coming closer to something that it is that you really desire, and something which makes you feel really good. It's something which is a real feeling orientated thing, like spiritually and sensually. Maybe even it might be to do with sexuality. It feels like it is to do with like sexuality, pleasure, lust, that kind of thing. Yeah, or that kind of like identity experience, something in there. Some of you are working out what it is that you want to feel and what it is that you want to be like. And that's really cool, and that's really exciting. Something that's maybe missing for Gemini this month that they need to invite into their life, please. Is direction. This is the third Queen you've had in this reading. So you have the Queen of Swords, and she's kind of looking at the left. So maybe this is to do with creativity. This is to do with like the left side of your brain, or maybe literally even somebody's left side of their body might be needing some kind of like acupuncture or massage or something. But yeah, someone's really needing to like make a decision about something, and be very like specific about what that is. Yeah, again, something to do with making a decision, sticking to it. Also something, this is great, I've never seen this before. So if you look at the Sun in reverse and then the Seven of Wands in reverse, the legs are the same for the two characters. So I think there's something as well about embodying your inner joy and embodying your inner child. So doing some kind of like joyful, like childlike practices, or like coming back and embodying something that you used to adore when you were younger. You know? And then we have yeah, it feels like some of you have some like pride around that, or some ego, or some kind of like judgment, or like fear of being judged for how that might come across to your community. That is all internal processing, that is all internal fear and worry from something which has happened in the past. You don't need to worry about that. You can let go of that. There's definite shifts for you going on, Gemini. This thing doesn't need to keep you up at night. Like, you don't need to worry about how other people perceive you. You really don't. Just get back in touch with who you are. Get back in touch with what feels really good, you know, like go and find that joy. Like, this person's literally going off to go and find their joy. Again, Taurus's reading might be helpful for you. A few of the cards have overlapped and the themes of, there's a couple of similar themes. I still don't know if it's time for those two. Is there anything Gemini needs to hear, or any lead up into these two cards which might be helpful for Gemini, please? Something about like creative ambitions is really important right now. Yeah, the Hierophant. So yeah, you know what it is that you're here to do, and you've been aware of it for a long time. You have always been aware of it. It is what you love to do as a child. It's something which brings you real joy. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy, but you need to work on that. You need to bring that back. Like, you need... It's really emotional. It's like, you need to do it for you, but we also need you to do it. And when I say we, I speak to like community, collective consciousness, earth, universe. Like, we need you to do it. And this is something which is part of your spiritual journey. So you're in a massive process of like I said, waking the fuck up. You're in a massive process of like really coming back to yourself, Gemini, and really coming back into your truth really strongly. So yeah, you had the Hierophant, which, as I've already said, is the card of, you know, it's like you are your inner priest, you are your inner god, like you are the person to resort back to because you know the answers that you need. So you know what this thing is that you need to do. You need to come back to it. We need you to come back to it. It's this thing which made you really happy as a child. You need to be fucking strong. Excuse my language. You need to be strong and decidedly choose this thing. And it's not going to be easy. There might be resistances from some people who are maybe jealous. It might be physically tough, it might be emotionally draining, but it is going to be really good for you. Spiritually, emotionally, it's going to bring you towards the right people that you want to meet. It's going to pull you back into alignment, Gemini. This is like what... I don't have the words to express it. It's like... yeah. Go do that. Go do that thing. So yeah, this is it being, this is going to be your spiritual experience. This is 8, this is abundant. It's going to be really good for you. Like, you're going to be this energy, you're going to embody this energy. Gemini is going to be great. So the two cards that you have also had, almost doesn't feel right. I don't know if it means anything to any of you, but someone's going through a really tough time, like mentally. Someone's really like experiencing a lot of anxiety and depression and like social anxiety, like exhaustion, insomnia, dissociation. Like, people, some Geminis are experiencing this really heavy right now. And that's almost like not letting you go into this other energy of the message that we just had before. This energy that you're experiencing is also part of your path. It's a part of you that you need to learn to accept and learn to have forgiveness for and learn to love. It's a deep and strong part of you, which again might have been there for a really long time. And you need to come into some kind of acceptance, because the more you kind of push it away, the more it's gonna insistently be very loud. Whereas the more you accept it, the more you can be like, hey, that's my depression coming in. Coming in loud and clear. You know? I hope that was okay to receive. And it might be something that one day you're able to celebrate and able to really help other people with. Gemini, you have so much power. So much power. So much resilience. If you don't feel like you're resilient because of what you're experiencing, like the mental health stuff, maybe it's part of you learning your resilience, because honestly, if you're able to deal with that every day, which you are doing, then that's resilient as hell, you know. Why does this card come out again? So it's something to do with your solar plexus, which is your like power chakra. Something to do with some of you actually aren't being like clear enough about what's okay and what's not okay in your field. So it's time to really call upon some help from your spirit guides if you're in touch with them. Maybe call upon some friends. Yeah, don't be afraid of what's coming to you. Like, you really have a lot of power in this situation. You don't need to go into victimhood. You are following the wheel. Like, you are following, like, all of the stuff that you're experiencing right now is happening for you, not to you. It's letting you really learn this card, the Magician. It's letting you, all of these experiences, all of these difficulties are teaching you how to be gracious and accept help and be thankful and be in gratitude for other people's generosities. The disparity between what you really want in life and what you currently have is really clear. And that is because you need to change your life. You need to change it up. Like, come out of this victimhood behaviour and step inside this warm building, you know? Like, yeah, it's your choice, Gemini. Any final messages for Gemini, please? Come on through now. Yeah. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised. You're strong. And you need to make that decision. I'm going to stop singing now. But yeah, you're strong. You need to make that decision. And you've really got to trust yourself. You've really got to become your best friend. Because you're great. Thank you, Gemini. Really appreciate you really strongly, really massively. Really excited for you. Please, please, please make that decision. It's going to be helpful not just to you, but it will literally benefit the greater being. It will benefit the universe. You choosing to come into your happiness, choosing to change your life, to allow yourself to be genuinely fulfilled, is obviously going to impact the planet and the universe and everybody around you for the better. It's going to be so good for you. Yeah, thanks, Gemini. Feeling really emotional about your reading, and yeah, I really hope you're doing good. Feel free to contact me if you want any extra support or any private reading or any just having a conversation. Super here for it. Yeah, sending lots of love. Check out Taurus reading as well if you've got time. There's definitely similar vibes going on there. So yeah, all the best. Yeah, bye.